In the following clip, an explorer visits Presidio de San Saba in Menard, Texas, a location many believe is haunted not just by legend but by history soaked in violence. Built in the mid-17th century, this Presidio became the site of brutal conflict involving Spanish settlers and Comanche and Wichita tribes. Historical accounts describe violent attacks, torture, and countless lives lost on this very ground. People who never had the chance to leave peacefully. While exploring the ruins late at night, the explorer records with his phone in his right hand, holding a flashlight firmly in his left. As he scans the corner of the structure, something completely unexpected happens. A dark shadow suddenly comes into view. Watch closely.
Here's the room I'm in. There's the K2. There's the REM pod. There's the wall all the way to the corner.
What makes this moment so unsettling is where he's standing. He's backed into a corner with no visible objects nearby that could cast a moving shadow like that. Even more convincing, you can clearly see his hand on camera. The phone is steady in one, the flashlight fixed in the other, and yet the shadow moves in the opposite direction. Viewers also notice something else when pausing the footage frame by frame. For a split second, the shadow appears to have horn-like protrusions, giving it a shape that looks disturbing. That detail alone sparked intense debate online. Considering the violent past of Presidio de San Saba, a place where suffering, fear, and death once filled the air, many believe this wasn't just a trick of the light. Others argue there must be a rational explanation we're missing. So what do you think? Is this simply a shadow playing tricks on the eye? Or did this explorer momentarily capture something that never truly left these grounds? You decide. In this next clip, a man is simply spending time with his child, recording a casual video just to save the moment, something parents do every day without thinking twice. But while he's focused on his daughter, laughing and playing, something else is happening right in front of him, and he doesn't notice it at all. Thankfully, the camera does. Watch closely and pay attention to the blinds.
Okay. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. That one hurt. Okay, you want me to make buckets now?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna catch it.
Oh, you want to catch it and then put it?
Okay.
Okay. Oh. Yeah. Yay! Yeah! You want the small one?
Yeah.
There you go. Oh, oh.
This is too small.
Sorry. It's too small.
Yeah.
Oh, you got it. No, almost. I mean, you hit SpongeBob though. Yay! Last one. 3, 1.
Seriously, 3.
Huh? 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
Yours is say 3, 2, 1, go.
3, 2, 1, go in the basket. In the basket.
Go again.
Okay.
The window is completely shut. There's no visible breeze, and you don't see any fingers or hands reaching through the blinds like someone trying to peek inside. Confused and unsettled, the father decides to check the security camera installed in the room, just to rule out any coincidence. But when he watches the footage back, he sees the exact same thing happen again from a different angle. Viewers began speculating. Some suggested airflow from a vent, others said it could have been pressure from outside the window, or even someone poking the blinds from outside. Many weren't convinced it was paranormal until he shared the next clip. Watch this.
Right here is the room where it actually happened. Hey. So I was just sitting here with my daughter. Well, she was actually on a bed playing with her toys that she always plays with. all of a sudden I didn't understand what was going on, because the only way you can move the blinds is if you're inside the room. There's no possible way that someone can move the blinds from the outside of the room. There's no possible way somebody can just come up here and move the blinds from the inside.
This video made many people completely abandon logical explanations. The blinds are clearly touched from a height that would require someone to be at least 9 feet tall. There's no balcony, no platform, and no structure outside that could allow a person to reach that high. Wanting to be cautious, the man had his grandmother come over to bless the room. Even after that, though, he refused to let his daughter sleep there alone. During the day, though, she still goes in there to play, because locking the door would only raise more questions. And the answers are something a child her age wouldn't understand.
Okay, so this is the security camera that caught it. This is the whole area that it happened. I don't trust this area at all anymore, so my grandma had it blessed. Also, I don't feel safe in this place anymore at all. It's okay.
Everything seems calm on the surface, but the tension never really leaves. The father says he's constantly on edge, hoping the blessing worked and that whatever caused those movements is gone for good. But then, one evening, his daughter tells him she's seen someone in the room. Concerned, he goes in with her and stays close, just to reassure her. Then, this happens. After this encounter, his confidence completely collapsed. One blessing suddenly didn't feel like enough anymore. He began asking the same questions many parents in similar situations ask. Is this something that needs repeated blessings? Do these things come back? And is there a way to permanently protect a space once something has made itself known? Right now, he's doing everything he can to keep his daughter safe, but he's also searching for answers. If you've experienced something similar, or if you know of a solution that actually worked, this is the moment to share it. Because whatever is happening in that room clearly isn't finished yet. Now, in this next video, we're taken back into the home of a woman who says she's dealt with paranormal activity for years, to the point where it has seriously impacted her life. In the past, she shared that she suffered a concussion, experienced unexplained electrical shocks, and endured months of constant disturbances inside her house. Then, just as suddenly as it all began, everything stopped. For months, her home was completely calm. No noises, no movement, no strange sensations. And she didn't cleanse, bless, or remove anything during that time. The activity simply went quiet on its own. But recently, whatever was there seems to have returned. One afternoon, while she was in the kitchen fixing herself lunch, something happened. Watch closely. According to her, this isn't an isolated incident. She says objects have moved on their own before, including a knife that shifted unexpectedly and at night. Also, while trying to sleep, she has heard low growling sounds coming from inside the house. Viewers who follow her story closely began connecting dots almost immediately. Some believe the sudden pause and return of activity could point to something that goes dormant. then reactivates. Others suggest it may be tied to a specific object in her home, especially one item she's mentioned before, a doll she bought at a thrift store. Still, without definitive proof or new updates, everything remains speculation. So, until she shares more evidence or finds a clear explanation, this unsettling case remains completely unsolved. The following video was captured somewhere in Mexico, where a man named Dav noticed something deeply unsettling at his best friend's house, a property that is still under construction. For weeks, people living nearby had been complaining about strange things happening around the building. Some mentioned hearing loud noises late at night when no one was supposed to be there. A few neighbors even said they felt watched whenever they passed by the place after dark. One morning, Dav and his friend decided to go check the house for themselves, hoping to put the rumors to rest. Dav stayed outside, keeping watch near the entrance, while his girlfriend Gabriella insisted on going inside. She was excited to document the interior and show their friend how the construction was coming along. Watch closely.
Desde que llegué a la casa le dije a Gabriela que había alguien ahí. Chucho se fue a asomar, no. Y se ve bien puto raro. Tiene la pinche jeta. Tiene los ojos brillosos. ¿Qué pasó? ¿Sí estás grabando? ¿Estás grabando? ¿Y no grabaste nada? Ahorita te enseño el video para que veas. Sobres. Cuidado. A ver, ahorita vemos el video de Gaby. Voy a grabar por si.
The figure Dav saw didn't look like a person who wandered in by mistake. It appeared oddly shaped, standing unnaturally still, and what terrified viewers the most were its glowing eyes. Many people familiar with paranormal folklore pointed out something chilling. Houses under construction are often believed to attract spirits because they're considered unfinished spaces, places without protection, history, or grounding yet. Some say these locations act like open doors, especially when the land itself has an unknown past. Others believe spirits are drawn to new structures because they disrupt old energies buried beneath the ground. So was this just an optical illusion inside an unfinished building? Or did Dav see something that had already been there long before the house was ever built? For now, no one has a clear answer, and this encounter remains deeply unsettling and unexplained. Now, in this next clip, the popular Midwest ghost hunter Ian continues his solo exploration through Bonanzaville, an open-air museum made up of fully preserved historic buildings from different eras of North Dakota. While moving through one of the rooms, Ian suddenly hears what sounds like a woman's voice clearly asking, "Who are you?" Startled, he steps inside to see if anyone else is there, or if whatever spoke was still nearby. Watch closely.
Where are you in this room?
That.
Are you on this bed? If you're on this bed, could you move the blankets? I overheard that brothel work used to take place here. Are you, no disrespect, but lady of the night? I heard that again. Are you touching this bed? I keep hearing you. Wow. That was a heck of a string of activity. Jeez, that woman's voice was so clear on here. I still can't believe that. There's no doubt in my mind I was not alone in that room, and I'm not sure who that was. Man, I just feel like a cold breeze just passed me. Did somebody just go in front of me here? That's just like a wicked chill I got there.
Just seconds after Ian exits the room, something strange happens. A mist-like form begins to materialize from seemingly nothing, drifting through the space where the voice was heard moments earlier. When Ian reviews the footage, he can't shake the feeling that what he captured might have been the same presence, possibly the spirit of a woman rising from the bed and passing by him as a cold, unseen presence. Still processing what he's just experienced, Ian moves on to his next location inside Bonanzaville, the Houston Mansion. Built in 1891 on a bonanza farm, the mansion once belonged to David Houston, an inventor, farmer, and poet, and his wife Annie, a respected musician known across the state as the North Dakota songstress. Their life here was filled with creativity and acclaim, but it ended in tragedy. Employees and visitors alike are convinced that David and Annie never truly left. Reports of shadowy figures pacing the hallways, unexplained footsteps, and disembodied voices are common, especially on the second floor. Some claim David's spirit is particularly protective of the home, often frightening off visitors he doesn't approve of. His voice has even been heard muttering the words, "Get out." While inside the mansion, Ian decides to conduct a small test, a quiet attempt to see if either spirit is still present and willing to respond. Watch what happens next.
A pretty interesting tidbit about Annie and David is that they were actually spiritualists when they were alive. And it is said that Annie conducted seances on this very table. I've got a couple of dowsing rods here, and I'm going to see if I can communicate. Annie, are you here? Whoa. Did you see that? Dang. Annie, if that was you, could you separate them? Whoa. Right away. Thank you. I take it you're familiar with these? Yes. Wow. Annie, is it true that you were a spiritualist? Uncross the rods if that's true. Yes. Wow. I heard you were a musician as well. Is that true? Yes, I didn't even have to ask to cross them. Wow, Annie, I'm getting like serious goosebumps right now. Annie, is it true? Is this table your seance table? If it is, could you uncross the rods? Wow. Holy moly. Just to confirm, Annie, could you point these rods towards your seance table? There you have it. I'm going to move these rods up forward again. Annie, is it okay that I'm here? Are you okay with me visiting? If so, cross the rods. You're not crossing them. Annie, do you want me to leave?
Come on now.
Whoa! Dude, I just freaking heard a whisper.
Could that have been Annie's voice finally answering and asking Ian to leave? Or was it something else entirely? Something that doesn't want anyone wandering the halls of the Houston mansion after dark? Whatever the case, Ian didn't feel welcome anymore. And judging by what he captured that night, maybe he never was. For more haunting videos including Ian, subscribe to the channel now. The following video is about a lady with an unusual hobby, collecting haunted dolls, and they're not just for display. According to her, each doll carries the spirit of a person who once lived, and her goal is to communicate with them, to understand their stories and share them with her audience. She even claims to have traced one of the spirits to its actual grave, naming each doll after the person believed to be attached to it, almost like preserving their memory through these objects. One day, during one of her live sessions, something happened. Watch.
There's nothing out there. Even the cats are confused. We have had scratching on the wall before. We've had scratching on the wall before. That's, unless she does it too, but that's always my wall scratching. I have wall scratching a lot. This is like a regular thing in my house. Usually Deanna, but I don't know why. Done now.
Some of her followers actually support what she's doing, saying she's giving these restless spirits a voice, helping them find peace, and treating them with respect instead of fear. In fact, many of her fans have developed the same fascination, even reaching out to her for recommendations on which haunted dolls to get and how to connect with them safely. But not everyone sees it that way. Others warn that she could be inviting dark or deceptive entities into her home. Spirits that pretend to be harmless but might grow more aggressive over time. Some even fear she's accidentally creating a portal that could attach itself not just to her, but to anyone watching her live streams. But what do you think? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. In this next clip, an explorer visits one of America's most notoriously haunted sites, the Ohio State Reformatory. With over 200 recorded deaths within its walls, it's said the building still holds on to the pain, violence, and despair that once filled its cells. Also, the massive, echoing cell blocks are rumored to be crawling with activity, and visitors claim to have seen shadowy figures drifting from one cell to another, heard faint snoring when no one else was around, and felt a crushing sense of dread the deeper they went inside. But perhaps the most feared spot of all is what locals call the chair room, a small, bare chamber believed to house a particularly malevolent entity. Those who dare to taunt or challenge the spirit often leave with unexplained scratches or bruises, as if something invisible lashed out at them. While exploring different sections of the prison, this explorer captured something chilling on camera. Watch.
What the? That's some creepy ass shit. Hold on, I want to see this shit. And nothing. I am.
After posting the footage, others who had visited the reformatory began flooding the comments, sharing different encounters, strange sounds, sudden cold spots, and the overwhelming feeling that someone, or something, was watching them from the darkness. Now, in this next video, a man named David has been living through something absolutely terrifying for the past few days, and it's hard to explain what's really going on. Take a look.
I'm home alone. I'm hearing my own voice upstairs. The door won't stop knocking, and there's nobody there. This door keeps banging. I thought I was hearing my voice. Nobody's there. Go away! Open the door. Ooh, that was right over my shoulder. Who's... I'm giving you one chance to leave. I know what you're doing. It's not scaring me. It's not scaring anybody else. You need to leave now. Yeah, I got a feeling you're in this room, aren't you? Are you in here? This again. Okay. All right. If you're gonna play these games all night, I'm not gonna play. I'm not doing this. And now I hear the bathroom water on. Good grief. Get out.
At first glance, some might think this could be someone messing with him. But then, how is it possible for one person to be in different places at once? Doors slamming in separate rooms within seconds of each other, the doorbell ringing, a voice mimicking him from somewhere inside, and that strange image that appeared right at the door? Some people believe David could be dealing with a poltergeist, a spirit capable of manipulating sound, movement, and even imitating voices to confuse its target. Others think it could be a residual haunting, where intense energy from past trauma replays over and over. Doors banging, sounds echoing, like time itself repeating. But then there are those who say the mimic voice and that eerie image at the door suggests something far darker, an entity pretending to be human, trying to lure him closer. But what do you think David's really dealing with? In the following video, a man named Ethan steps outside after hearing soft meowing at his doorstep, only to find a stray cat sitting quietly outside. But what really rattled him wasn't the cat, it was what he saw next. Watch.
Oh gosh. So I got the stray cat out here, right? Now I'll check in on it. This thing's cute as f***. And I'll look up. This shit. What the f***? I'm gonna go look over. Real quick. Y'all see it? Oh, do y'all see that shit though? Is this disappearing?
There are a lot of angles to look at this from. Could it be that someone intentionally left the cat there, waiting to see if he'd come out? Or could the cat itself be something else, or maybe just a pawn, used as a distraction for something far more sinister? Others think the cat might have even been possessed or influenced, perhaps drawn to the energy of something already lingering around his home. Another theory is that the cat wasn't there to lure him, it was there to warn him. And then there's the most unsettling part, the man standing in the distance. If we're being honest, none of these possibilities sound comforting. In fact, each one is its own kind of nightmare. But here's where it gets even stranger. Before the whole cat situation, Ethan had already been dealing with something creepy in his basement. Watch this.
I'm in the basement. I'm about to talk to this ghost or whatever it is. It's pretty scary. If you can't tell, my basement is scary as hell. But let's talk to it. Is there anybody in here? If you're in here, show yourself. Oh no, y'all see that? Hell no. Is that a fuck? Oh, oh hell no, hold up. Hold up. Is anybody in here? Oh hell no, I'm out. I'm out this place.
After people saw this clip, they started to take the entire situation more seriously. Some even advised him to try communicating with whatever presence might be connected to it. So one night, when he heard heavy footsteps circling his property, Ethan grabbed his rifle and stepped outside to confront, or maybe speak to, whatever was out there. This is what he saw.
so I got told to go talk to it. So I'm gonna go talk to it. It's dark as I can't see shit. I see a few trees. I don't know if y'all can see that. It's dark as yeah. And scary as hell. Oh hell no, what the is that? What the oh no.
Whatever he captured that night left more questions than answers. Theories range from a human intruder playing psychological games, to a spirit trying to manifest physically, or something darker that defies explanation altogether. But since that night, his account went silent, so until he provides updates or someone finds out what really happened, this case remains an unsettling mystery. In this next clip, a woman who recently bought an old house built in 1917 believes she's sharing her home with a ghost, though according to her, it's not a threatening one. The only reason she and her family installed cameras was to capture whatever happens when they're not around. One afternoon, while she was home with her daughter, the little girl suddenly called out, saying she heard a ghost inside the vent in the bathroom. Curious, the woman followed her in. Then, her daughter said, "Ghost, if you're here, do something." And almost immediately, they heard a loud sound coming from the kitchen. This is what the camera caught. Ever since she bought the house in 2023, she says at least 2 childlike spirits have revealed themselves, sometimes through soft giggles or the sound of running across the hall. And while she insists they're harmless and even protective of her daughter, not everyone agrees. Some viewers believe it's dangerous to assume that any spirit, especially one interacting with a child, has good intentions. Others think it could be something pretending to be innocent, something trying to earn their trust. Still, she remains calm and welcoming, saying the house feels peaceful. But is it really? Or could this be the calm before something much darker reveals itself? I'll leave you to be the judge of this one. Now in this next video, the popular Midwest ghost hunter Ian continues his exploration through one of Nebraska's most haunted locations, the Argo Hotel. This time, he went into the old bar area, a spot that's gained quite a reputation over the years. According to past guests and staff, glasses have been seen sliding across tables, chairs shifting slightly on their own, and faint laughter echoing long after midnight. While recording, Ian decided to set his camera down and let it roll quietly. For a few minutes, nothing happened, but then this happened. Watch.
Could you tell me who you are? Not hearing him again. That was so weird. I wonder what would even cause that. There hasn't been any rumbling in the building, like at all. So how would you explain that? Could you move one of these cups down here? Oh God, that came from back in the dining room. Holy crap, that freaking scared me, whatever that was. Hello? Who's making noises in here? No way. No way, that just moved. Did I really just see that? No way. No way. Dude, this glass just slid across the freaking table. Literally before my eyes. I've got goosebumps all over my arms right now. Holy moly. Oh my gosh.
The glass sitting perfectly still on the table suddenly slid, like someone unseen had just nudged it forward. But there was no one in the room, no visible vibration, and no airflow strong enough to cause that kind of motion. When Ian reviewed the footage, he was stunned. Some viewers think the spirit of Alice, the woman said to haunt the Argo, may have followed him from the basement, while others believe it's tied to a different tragedy that took place in the bar decades ago. Either way, one thing's clear. Whatever haunts the Argo Hotel doesn't seem ready to rest, and the stories about this place might just be true. For more haunting videos including Ian, subscribe to the channel now. The following video is an update from Rosanna, the woman who refuses to give up on her house. Sadly, many of the priests she's reached out to recently have stopped responding, saying there's nothing more they can do. So after getting rejected by several others, she decided to take a break and travel to her mother's place. But while there were no unusual knockings, voices, or moving objects like before, one thing still didn't stop. She kept waking up in different rooms with no memory of how she got there. After a few weeks, she decided to go back home and try the whole find a solution thing all over again. But this is what welcomed her. Watch.
Alright.
As soon as she arrived, the dishes exploded right before her eyes, before she could even bring out her phone to record. Then, the craziest thing happened. The mannequin head slowly turned on its own, facing directly toward her. Moments later, she said she felt something breathing down her neck, and when she whispered "stop," a voice answered, "No." Some people believe something in that house wants her gone, like whatever's there knows she's been trying to banish it, and it's fighting back. A few days after this happened, she revealed what made her leave the house for a long period in the first place. One night while she was asleep, she decided to put on her camera, hoping to finally catch herself leaving her room and walking into another. Because somehow every morning she wakes up in a different place with no memory of how she got there. But instead of capturing that, something else happened that night. Watch this. Waking up to find out a terrifying face had been watching you while you slept. That's not something anyone would ever want to discover. But what makes it worse are the strange gestures she was making in her sleep. Gestures she doesn't remember at all. No memory, no control, just movement. Almost like something else was borrowing her body for a while. Seeing this, people started coming up with new theories. Some say what's inside that house is trying to possess her but can't because of her faith, so it manifests through her sleep instead. Others believe the spirit is trapped within her and only reveals itself when she's most vulnerable, like when she's asleep and unaware. A few even claim she's become a vessel for whatever resides in that house, that maybe it's not the house that's haunted anymore, maybe it's her, but it doesn't end there. It's not just the figures watching her while she sleeps. Sometimes she hears a voice imitating her cat, trying to lure her into a corner or another room, and when she follows it, this happens.
Loli. Loli. Laisse-moi. Loli. Oui, Loli.
The figure stood silently in front of the door for what felt like forever, while Rosanna hid under a table, trying to call her friends for help. But by the time anyone arrived, the house was completely still and silent, almost like nothing had happened at all. At this point, Rosanna says she's done trying. She's checked into a hotel indefinitely until she can find a new place to live. And honestly, can you blame her? After all the sleepless nights, the fear, the money she spent trying to get help, anyone would break. But while at the hotel, she found a forgotten clip from a few weeks back, one she'd filmed while testing a projector for her kids. She was alone, preparing to send them a video message when she heard a noise coming from the fireplace. Watch this.
Celui qui devant sur la plaie du triomphe repose en nom du puissant. Je dis avec
Rosanna later explained that every time she prays or plays a religious song, whatever's inside that house reacts violently, almost like it hates it. And in this clip, you can hear it clearly, a voice saying, "Shut up." Also, the music wasn't even playing until she picked up the cross, and the moment she did, it was like something in the room snapped. Things began to move violently, and then her body stiffened. Her head began spinning uncontrollably, and her skin burned like fire. It felt as if the house itself was fighting back. Some say it's because the entity inside her home is demonic, feeding on her resistance. She also shared one particular night when she decided to communicate with whatever or whoever was in her house. At the time, she said the entire place was filled with a strong, foul smell she couldn't trace. No leaks, no spoiled food, nothing that explained it. It just appeared heavy, suffocating, and constant. So she took out some protective stones, ones a friend had told her might help, though she admitted she had no idea if she was even using them right. Watch what happened.
Je suis frigorifiée. Et il y a cette odeur-là, de pourriture. Je sais qu'il est là. Tant pis. Qui es-tu? Qui es-tu? Allez. Allez, dis. Qui es-tu?
According to Rosanna, this wasn't the first time it had hurt her. She's been slapped, scratched, and even bitten before, and she's got the scars to prove it. But what happened that night took things to a different level. Even though she doesn't have a baby at home, the whole experience that day was something new and deeply disturbing. And to make things worse, when she tried turning on her hallway light, the switch wouldn't work. It had been working perfectly that morning. Somehow, it just stopped, right when she needed it most. She decided to post the clip, mostly because some viewers had been accusing her of quitting. But for someone who's been bitten, slapped, and mocked by something unseen, how do you not quit? When you start living through something like this, do you keep pushing for answers, or is that the moment you accept it's already beyond your control? Well, that wasn't all that happened that night. Watch this.
Arrête. Arrête. Oh Dieu. C'est quoi?
The laughter, that awful mocking laugh that echoed through her hallway. It's the kind of sound that makes your blood run cold, and it didn't stop there. Her YouTube was still playing in the background because she'd been listening to spiritual music before she started attempting to communicate with whatever was present in her house. Now, while she's trying to enjoy some peace at her hotel, she's been sharing these old clips as a way to explain why she stepped away, to show people that she didn't give up. She simply couldn't keep going. And really, can anyone blame her? So, what exactly is she dealing with here? A demon? An angry spirit still claiming the home as its own? Or something else entirely? Something darker, older, and far beyond what any of us can understand? You decide. Now, in this next clip, a lady who's always complained about hearing footsteps on her stairs finally caught something on camera. Watch. Aside from the footsteps, the only thing she noticed at first were faint orbs, drifting softly like dust but moving with strange intention. It kept happening like this for weeks at random hours of the night, until one night, it wasn't just footsteps and orbs anymore. Watch.
The stairs are going again.
You can clearly see something moving slowly on the stairs. And for the first time, it wasn't just about the stairs. The chair in the corner moved right in front of her eyes. That was the moment she began to realize this might not be something simple or harmless. Many people believe she's dealing with an elderly spirit, perhaps someone who once lived there but never truly left. Others, however, have a different take. Some think it's not a ghost at all, but a residual echo, a kind of time imprint, where moments from the past replay over and over like a broken record, overlapping with our world in faint fragments. A few even suggested that what she's capturing might be a looped memory of the house itself, reanimating movements that belong to someone long gone. But whatever it is, it's getting worse, and now it's not just the stairs. It's starting to interrupt her sleep. One night around 2:47 a.m., this woke her up. Some say that step marks a threshold between the living and the dead, a point where energy gets trapped. Others argue it's a mimic, something pretending to be human, copying footsteps to lure attention before revealing its true form. But here's where the debate gets creepy. A few viewers pointed out something subtle. The sound pattern of the footsteps isn't consistent with a human stride. The rhythm is slightly off, as if whatever's climbing those stairs is learning how to walk. But until we get more updates on the situation, this one remains a mystery. The following clip is about Rosanna, whose situation has become one of the longest running and most unsettling cases we've ever covered. She's tried everything, spoken to multiple paranormal experts, cleansed the house more times than she can count, switched rooms, switched routines, but instead of getting better, things have only escalated. Early one morning, Rosanna suddenly woke up after hearing the sound of a toy she was absolutely sure no longer worked. Confused, she grabbed her phone and went to check. Watch.
J'en ai marre, j'en ai marre, j'en ai marre. Ah, ok. Alors le choupi, il est tout en haut de l'étagère là-bas. Et il ne marche plus. Voilà. Classique. Regarde, il est à 0. Je suis là. Coucou, je suis là. Il marchait plus. Coucou, je suis là. Coucou, je suis là. Coucou, je suis là. Super, j'ai pas. Coucou, je suis là. Coucou, tais-toi. Tais-toi. J'ai entendu. Je suis pas folle. J'ai entendu.
At the time she was filming, she didn't see the shadow moving right in front of her. She only noticed it later when viewers pointed it out. And what made this moment even stranger is that the toy's batteries had been dead for months. So the fact that it suddenly switched on by itself, paired with that dark shifting shadow and then a faint voice saying hello from inside the bathroom, made everything feel a lot more intentional, almost like something inside that house was trying to get her attention. Viewers also pointed out something else. The bathroom door was open, and in a surprising number of paranormal cases, bathrooms are believed to be hotspots for activity. Some investigators say it's because bathrooms have mirrors, objects often tied to spiritual gateways. Others say it's the constant flow of water, since running water is believed in some traditions to attract or amplify energy. And a few believe it's simply because bathrooms are small, enclosed spaces where shadows and movements are easier to hide, and easier to miss. For Rosanna, it all adds up to one terrifying thought. Whatever is in her home is getting bolder. She's still searching for real help, especially because she wants to reunite with her kids, but she's terrified of exposing them to whatever this is. And until someone can confidently tell her exactly what she's dealing with, Rosanna remains stuck in a terrifying uncertainty, and this case remains completely unresolved. Now, in the following clip, a woman living deep in the Appalachian Mountains was recording a song when she suddenly felt like someone was watching her. She started hearing footsteps, soft, slow, almost pacing, and faint whispers she couldn't make out. Watch and listen closely.
Just had a whole chill go down my spine like I'm being watched. I feel really disoriented right now. I don't know which way I came in. I feel like someone's stalking me. Like I keep hearing people talking, but no one's here. See? Just me. I feel like you guys aren't my only audience.
A lot of viewers replayed that moment over and over, and some swear they heard a voice whisper, "Who are you?" right before the clip ended. It sounded low, masculine, almost like someone was standing just out of frame. And the moment her entire body went cold, she knew she had to leave immediately. But this wasn't a one-off moment. It happened again. This time, she was in her backyard practicing another song when something else happened. Watch this.
I'm in my backyard, so I can't. Imagine anything would go wrong. Worst comes to worst, I'll run inside. So if someone or something is here, then it followed me home. It's really quiet. It's almost dark.
Right before she starts playing, you can see something peeking out from behind a tree. Just a quick flash of what looks like a face. And according to her, it didn't sound like an animal. It sounded like someone shifting their weight, someone trying not to be noticed. And here's where the debate starts. Some viewers believe she's dealing with a stalker or a person hiding in the woods. Because living in the Appalachian Mountains, you often hear stories of people who've gone off grid, loners who wander the forests, or strangers who watch without ever revealing themselves. Others think this is something far stranger, maybe one of those unexplained Appalachian legends people warn you about. But then you have believers who say the whispers, the peeking figure, and the perfectly timed rustling all feel too synchronized to be a random person. They think she's dealing with something not entirely human, something that's been watching her for a long time. So is this a person hiding in the woods, or something else entirely? I'll leave that for you to decide. In this next video, an unusual and honestly unsettling moment was caught on a security camera inside a morgue. Take a look. Right after this video went viral, plenty of health practitioners chimed in, saying moments like this are more common than people think. According to them, a corpse can sit up, make guttural noises, or even move slightly due to muscle contractions, nerve reflexes, or gas release. In the medical world, this isn't considered paranormal, it's just the last bits of the body reacting. But in the paranormal world, this is a completely different story. When a corpse sits up suddenly at the exact moment it's being attended to, many believe it's a sign of a spirit trying to re-enter the body, or a final attempt to communicate something that wasn't said before death. Some say it means the soul hasn't fully crossed over, lingering in a confused or restless state. Others believe morgues, because of what they hold, naturally attract spirits who hover between worlds, making them hotspots for unexplained activity. There are even theories that certain sudden movements may happen when a presence is near, influencing the body or the environment around it. And if you talk to longtime morgue workers, many will admit there are nights where the room feels crowded, even when every bed is still. So with all the debates, theories, and strange stories surrounding morgues, if you experience something like this right in front of you, what would you do? Now, in the following clip, a ghost hunter and his crew visited a house that once belonged to an elderly couple who had passed away, leaving the home abandoned for years. They were only just setting up in the living room when the investigators suddenly heard a sound coming from one of the back rooms. His first thought was simple, probably a rat, or maybe something blown over by a draft. But when he entered the room, this is what he saw.
Dar nu se vede nimic. Deci se aude, dar nu se vede. Mamă, frate, fii atent! Holy shit! Vai, nu mai știu să vorbesc. Nu mai pot, bă. Ce-o zis? Îmi pun oala în cap.
If it had been only the window, maybe, just maybe, he could have talked himself into a logical explanation. But the moment that old porcelain doll spoke, he knew immediately this wasn't about rodents or loose windows. Something else was in that house, and it seemed to be slowly revealing itself piece by piece, like it wanted them to notice. From there, the activity grew stronger. Cold pockets of air kept passing between the crew members, and a picture frame on the wall kept tilting itself back and forth, almost like someone was trying to get their attention. Every sign pointed toward one truth. Something or someone was in that house with them. After doing a full sweep of the building and confirming no one else was inside, they decided to try communicating with whatever spirit was present. Take a look.
Dă tabloul la jos, poți? Ia să vedem că... Oricare spirit te-ai afla în balcon, oricare entitate, îți ordon să dai tabloul la jos cu doamna Timea. Băga mea și pula în dracu, gata, eu nu ți-am plecat acasă. Am băgat pula noastră.
When he asked the spirit to pull down the picture frame, and it actually happened, viewers immediately began theorizing.
Hai de pula mea. Vai de ca, hai să plecăm, Ionuț. Hai de pula.
Some believe the spirit was trying to show anger or frustration. Others think it was simply responding to acknowledgement, grateful that someone finally noticed its presence. A few even suggested the frame might hold a photo or memory tied to the couple who once lived there, and pulling it down was its way of pointing to unfinished business. The crew then tried something else, hoping to gather information about the spirit's story.
Since when are you dead?
Prizonier.
Doamne, prizonier a fost în război.
Give me a number.
Leonard.
Radar.
Bă, să te atragi, eu vorbesc în engleză și răspund în română, mă.
Și când o întreb.
Sometimes spirits who struggle to move on aren't staying because they want to. Some linger out of confusion, unable to accept that they've passed. Others stay because of emotional attachment, a memory, a person, an object they're tied to. And in some rare cases, they remain because they're waiting, hoping for someone to help them finish something they never could in life. The investigators kept communicating, testing the spirit's responses, checking how active and aware it truly was.
Ana Maria, închide ușa aia, oleacă, dacă poți.
Ana Maria.
Ia, marș de aici, Ionuț.
Ce ai, mă?
Băi, s-o închis ușa, tu ești nebun la cap?
Ce, bă? Hai, chiar ai.
Fortunately, their experience that night was calm. The spirit didn't try to lash out or attack. Instead, its interaction seemed intelligent, almost purposeful, like it had a message but couldn't express it fully. But why it still lingers in that house, why it hasn't crossed over, is something the team hasn't been able to uncover yet. So until they figure it out and share more updates, this one remains unsolved. This clip is about a delivery guy who, in his own words, lives life one day at a time. But recently, his days have been anything but ordinary. For months, he's been trying to explain the strange things he's seen and heard while on the job. But every time he shares his stories, his friends either laugh or brush it off as him being dramatic. Everything changed on the 14th of September, 2022, when he was assigned to deliver at a newly developed site with fresh, unfinished buildings. The place looked quiet, almost too quiet, but as soon as he entered one of the buildings, he began hearing strange sounds echoing from deep inside, footsteps when nobody was there, faint voices that seemed to vanish the moment he tried to follow them. At first, he ran out, unsettled, but he couldn't shake the feeling that what he heard was real, so the very next day he went back, this time not for work, but for proof. Have a look.
I'm at this house in somewhere North Carolina. Brand new house. Just has been built. And I was making a delivery here yesterday. And I kept hearing something upstairs. And I'm the only one here. I was here by myself. But something kept bumping around up here. Sounded like somebody walking across the floor. So today we're gonna come check it out. See what it could be. It's kind of odd. As you see, nobody's here. I'm here by myself. Nobody's around. Every single room is empty. Close it. I don't see anything that would have been moved or could move that's up here loose or anything. See, nobody's here. Nobody's hiding anywhere. Nope, nobody. Nobody. See? Now who the hell is crazy now? Did you hear that thump? See, I'm here by myself. Nobody's here. Just me. What the hell? See, nobody's here. What the hell was that? It's a brand new damn house. Nobody's here. We'll go up there in a minute. Still gotta make sure so everybody doesn't think that I'm crazy. I have somebody here with me. Nobody's here. Just me. Nobody's here. He's back out to the hall. Nobody's here. Let's see what could be going on. Nobody's here. There's nothing possible that could be bumping around by itself or thumping. Nobody, nothing. No animals, no nothing. So, strange how a brand new house is already haunted. Let's see. I just needed proof. But yet again, nobody's here. Proof.
What he recorded stunned even him, and now he's sure that the noises weren't just in his head, they were real, and now undeniable. But he's still worried his friends will dismiss it as edited audio or coincidence, so his plan is simple: bring them along next time. Because sometimes, he says, people only believe what they can see and feel themselves. In the following video, a guy is making a quick video to show his sister's fiance just how creepy the crematorium where he works can get after hours. What starts as a casual walkthrough quickly turns into something far more disturbing. Watch this.
Lights, they turn off automatically at a certain hour. And I'll tell you right now, I'm gonna walk you through I have a friend that works that he would see and hear things coming from these furnaces when they're burning the bodies. So when I'm walking through here, they usually put the urns out to send to the families. So when I'm walking here at night, I walk right by these urns that they put on these tables here. And then I come down, freaking out. This is crazy.
Now, crematoriums already carry a heavy atmosphere. The energy there is said to linger trapped between the living and the dead. Some even believe places like this can absorb emotions, grief, pain, fear, and release them in strange ways. Others think the constant contact with the deceased could make it easier for spirits to attach themselves to the living, especially workers who spend long nights alone. Now, back to the guy in this video. He's convinced there's a ghost haunting this crematorium, and until someone gives him a better explanation for what he saw, he's not budging from that theory. So what do you think? Paranormal encounter, or something else? You decide. Now, this next video was captured at around 3:15 in the morning, and after what happened, there was no way the guy could go back to sleep. Watch this.
Estaba por entrar a mi casa, son 3:15 de la mañana, y la luz empieza a ser así, no sé. Sinceramente siento que hay alguien acá. No sé por qué lo presiento. Si te querés mostrar, mostrate ahora. Hay alguien sentado ahí. Hay alguien sentado. Mostrate.
Only people who've woken up to the sound of something unexplainable can truly relate to the kind of terror this brings. That feeling of being watched, of knowing you're not alone. And for this guy, it's not a one-time event. Strange things keep happening in his home, often at the same exact hour, like something's deliberately choosing that time to make itself known. But many who followed his story were relieved to find out it wasn't the Teddy this time. The same Teddy that's moved on its own in several of his earlier videos. But that only made people wonder, what if it was never the Teddy? What if whatever's in his home simply uses different objects to get his attention? Or worse, to toy with him? Some say he's dealing with a spirit that feeds off fear, while others think something darker might be attached to the house itself. Until he shares another update, what's really tormenting him remains a mystery. In the following clip, a woman named Jess shares a chilling story, one that's been haunting her for over a decade. Jess lost a close friend named Derek 13 years ago, and ever since then, he's never really left. No matter where she moves, strange things follow. Lights flickering, footsteps in empty rooms, objects shifting on their own. And in her new home, one she moved into just a few months ago, it seems Derek has somehow found her again. Watch this.
Mary, what? He's doing it again. He's doing it again. Mary, he's doing it again. Derek! Hey, Derek! I know you're dude. Derek! Derek! I'm talking to you, man. Stop f***ing me, dude. calm down, Jessica. It's okay. It's okay. Calm down. It's just Derek. It's just Derek. Hey, Derek. Hey, Derek. What you doing, buddy? I miss you. Derek. What are you doing, buddy? You know I love you. You know I love you. Hey, Derek. Come on, you dumb... What the f...
Now, a lot of people believe Jess might be unknowingly holding on to something that once belonged to Derek, something personal that's keeping his spirit tethered to her. Others think Derek could be trying to communicate, perhaps trying to deliver a message she's missed for over 13 years, something that, once understood, might finally allow him to move on. But not everyone agrees. Some say she's making a dangerous mistake, that what she's experiencing isn't Derek at all, but something pretending to be him, using her grief to gain her trust. A few even suggested she check her attic, where energies tend to gather in old houses, and when she finally did, this is what she found.
Y'all wanted me to come up to the attic, okay? This is the wall that y'all saw some shit on. And these are the stairs. Like, my husband has all his clothes, of course. But if you look up there, there's no windows. I'm not going all the way up there because it scares the shit out of me. There's no windows. There's a sofa, some mirrors, a chair, his clothes, but there's no windows up here, okay? There's nothing up here that would have done anything. See? No window. No window. No windows. Nothing. Absolutely nothing up here. Other than like his toolboxes and a chair. I'm not going up here because it's too scary for me. But there are some mirrors, which is weird for an attic. A fan. See, there's no windows. This is my attic. There's nothing up here that could have done that shit. Alright, I'm getting the out of here because it feels weird.
So, is Jess truly being visited by the spirit of her old friend? Or something else wearing his face to keep her believing? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. Now, in this next clip, we're looking at footage captured inside a daycare in East Tennessee, one that used to be an old church before it was converted. Watch this.
The video I'm about to show you is very disturbing. I'm just gonna let it play for you and then I'll give you the background.
See? Lights go off. Now watch. You're gonna see.
What you just saw was security footage that was sent to me by a woman who worked at a daycare in East Tennessee, Appalachia region. This daycare is actually a very old church that was turned into like a private daycare school. She said that events leading up to this, she was kind of having some weird experiences where she would be in her office after hours and would hear like people walking down the stairs, and then she would go check the stairwell and nobody would be there, or she would hear noises coming from classrooms and open up the door and see nothing. She said she would be the only one on the property at this time because she was in charge of like opening the daycare center, and then she would often stay after hours. So nobody was in the building when she was hearing these noises. On this particular day, she was opening the daycare. She went in that door that you saw at the end of the hall and noticed there was an iPad laying on the ground. This was really odd to her because these iPads are put into this like cabinet area that are hooked on like chargers. And she said they're very secure and they're like sitting up on charging decks, if that makes sense. She thought maybe an intruder came in or something, so she immediately notified the security officer who came and checked the camera footage. And that is the camera footage that you saw. Literally, the way that iPad just flings out of that cabinet is giving me chills right now. In the beginning, I feel like I also saw some kind of an orb object, but I've watched this video so many times and I feel like it's just unexplainable. Tell me what you saw in the video, if you saw the orbs like I did, or if you noticed anything else that's odd, and leave in the comments if you have any weird experiences like this.
The way that iPad flew across the room is hard to wrap your head around. Now here's a bit of context. The woman who shared this video works at the daycare and said there had been a series of strange occurrences long before this day. She'd often stay late in her office and hear what sounded like footsteps coming down the old wooden stairs, only to find no one there. Other times, faint noises would come from the classrooms after hours, toys rattling, drawers opening, whispers she couldn't quite make out. On the morning this footage was recorded, she arrived early and found one of the iPads lying on the floor. Now, she's the one who usually opens the daycare, so at that time, the building should have been completely empty, the iPads locked away in a cabinet as usual. Thinking it might have been a break-in, she called security. Omen people believe it's residual energy from when the building was still a church, that maybe the spirits of those who once gathered there never really left. Others think the conversion of the sacred space might have disturbed something that didn't want to be moved, but what do you think really happened inside that old daycare? In this next clip, a woman was walking down a quiet street late at night when her camera picked up something she couldn't explain. Watch.
Or the sub for you is going to be more. Everything's going up, but our wages aren't going up. Because I'm still seeing wages that are fucking pitiful on Indeed. Oh yay, I can make the same amount of money I made when I was out of high school, you know? Looks like there was a figure just standing right there. That's so crazy. I think it was my own shadow. That happens way too often.
At first glance, it looks like nothing more than a shadow, but take a closer look. The outline, the faint movement, and those glowing eyes staring straight at her. Some viewers think she may have caught a shadow figure, a manifestation often linked to dark energy or spiritual unrest. Others believe it's something far more physical, a creature that thrives in the dark, staying just beyond our understanding. There could be many other explanations for what she saw, like a trick of the light, an animal, or maybe something else entirely. But the idea that it could be something aware of her presence is what makes this clip so unsettling. Because if figures like this can move freely among us, unnoticed and unbothered, it makes you wonder what else is out there when the streets go quiet. So, what do you think she captured that night? And do you believe that some things walk among us, some seen and others we were never meant to see? Now, in this next clip, a woman named Keys has been dealing with strange activity in her home, the kind that keeps her up at night. But this time, she finally managed to catch something on camera. Watch this.
What is happening right now? First the door was moving, then I heard like talking, and then I keep seeing shadows. And for anyone telling me that I should go out there, yeah, why don't you go out there, please? Oh, it just opened and shut right in front of me. Oh man, I wish I could. Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit! I'm freaking out. And before anyone comes at me, it's freaking the middle of October in Pennsylvania. It's freezing out, so I have no windows open. I have one fan that circulates throughout the whole room, and that door has never done that. Like, it's moved on its own, but never just like slammed shut like that. I can't believe I just caught that on camera. What the actual believe I just caught that. And of course I'm alone. Yay me. Fun times.
Whatever that was, it's not the first time she's seen it. Keys says things like this have been happening for months. Objects moving on their own, lights flickering even when the power's stable, and that unsettling feeling that someone's standing right behind her when no one is there. She's tried everything from cleansing rituals to changing rooms, but nothing seems to stop it. And now, after this footage, she's starting to wonder if whatever's haunting her house might be getting stronger. If you've ever experienced something similar, drop your thoughts below. What did you do to make it stop? Because at this point, Keys is running out of ideas and courage. Now, in this next clip, the popular Midwest ghost hunter Ian visits one of Nebraska's most haunted locations, the Argo Hotel. This place has a long and unsettling history. Years ago, when it was still a sanatorium, a woman named Alice reportedly died during childbirth in the basement. Since then, people say her spirit never left. They hear her crying softly in the hallways at night, sometimes calling for her baby. But here's the disturbing part. During renovations, workers found skeletal remains of an infant sealed inside one of the walls. Many believe it was Alice's child, and she's not the only one said to haunt this place. Guests staying in room 1 often complain about their blankets being tugged off in the middle of the night, or waking up to the sound of faint breathing right beside them. On November 28, 2024, Ian decided to spend the night alone inside the Argo Hotel, hoping to capture proof of what's really happening here. Watch.
That sounded like a lady's voice, right there. I swear to God, I just heard that right behind me. Alice, is that you? She's that ghostly woman that they see wandering around. Could you say something again? I don't know if I'm just losing it, but I swear to God I heard that. I'm not hearing anything else. It's dead quiet. Alice, was that you I just heard? Whoa, whoa. There's something standing right over there. It was right behind that couch. There was something literally standing in that photo. It was like a mist or something. But I'm not seeing it anymore. It's completely gone.
So was that Alice still wandering these halls, or something else entirely? For more haunting videos including Ian, subscribe to the channel now. In the following clip, a family went to check out an apartment they were considering renting, but within minutes of stepping inside, something happened that none of them could explain. Watch this.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm scared of that. That's why I walked it.
Bubby, you stay with us.
I'm going down.
Ooh, it's purple.
You want this room, Sally?
It's Harry Potter theme.
Asides the fact that an unidentified voice suddenly whispered Jadis, viewers quickly pointed out something else that seems far more disturbing. There's a particular corner of the house that gave almost everyone watching the same unsettling feeling. It's the kind of spot that looks normal at first, but the longer you stare at it, the heavier it feels. Some viewers claim they could see faint, human-shaped figures shifting in the shadows. Others said that even through a screen, the corner looked wrong, almost like someone, or something, was standing there quietly, waiting for them to step closer. And then there's the little boy. The moment he said he was scared, a lot of people took that seriously, not because he sounded dramatic or confused, but because children are known to be extremely sensitive to things adults can't perceive. So between the mysterious voice calling out a name, the strange corner that unsettled so many viewers, and the child's immediate reaction, many believe the family got all the signs they needed. Whether they listened or not, though, that's something everyone is still waiting to know. In this next clip, a family who had been dealing with several nights of unexplained knocking finally made the mistake that so many paranormal experts warn people about. They opened the door. They didn't see anyone there, no footsteps, no cars parked outside, but ever since that moment, their normal days have looked nothing like normal. Watch this. First, you see the chair rocking, as if something was sitting there and deliberately trying to be noticed. But the moment the man reached out to stop it, something else in the room reacted. Like whatever was inside that house was saying, if you stop me here, I'll just move somewhere else. And this is the exact pattern people online pointed out. Every time they try to interfere with one activity, another one starts up right behind them. It's like the presence in that house is trying to show dominance over the entire space. And judging by how effortlessly these objects move, and how quickly the activity escalates, whatever this is, it doesn't seem ready to leave anytime soon. On March 8th, 2023, Casey Lee was home with her family when her son suddenly ran out of the hallway, trying to get his dad's attention. He kept pointing, insisting that his father had to come see something. Watch.
This snack will go international. International. That looks good though, dude. We gotta try that. Alright, start this video. Break the ice. We're gonna break the rice. Slow down, some of the rice. Oh, no, that's sick. That was insane. Boy, that's amazing. Wow. Dude. Okay, let's go.
That feels so trippy too. Oh, new wrenches. Yeah, new oil. But I can't grab all these. I'm doing it. What? Oh, yeah. That's so satisfying. Yeah, that is. Like,
Ghost?
a ghost? That looks amazing. Where? That took.
Fuck that shit.
Kill them.
Kill who?
They go.
What ghost?
Sit there.
What's that?
Go get him.
No.
What does the ghost look like?
What's that?
Like that? Where is he?
In there.
And where?
In there.
Here?
Uh-huh.
Further? Is he here? In front of me? Over there? Where? Which way?
No, in there.
In that room?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going in there.
Why go see him?
No, I don't know. Yeah, maybe you do whatever you want, bud. Want me to turn the light on in the hallway?
Come in there.
Huh?
No, go in there.
There's no ghost in there? Not anymore because the light's on? Someone's over there? It's a ghost? Is it a nice ghost? Friendly ghost?
Go fight him.
Oh, do what? Am I fighting him? Fight him?
Come here. Go.
I think we're good. Is it a big ghost or a little ghost?
Big ghost.
A big ghost?
Yeah.
Is it a boy ghost or a girl ghost?
Big ghost.
Big ghost.
In there.
We're almost there.
The boy was way too focused for them not to take him seriously, and according to Casey, this isn't the first time he's claimed to see something that no one else noticed at first. One example she gave was from a few months earlier, when he told her there was someone sitting by the shoe rack. They brushed it off as imagination, until the motion-activated light by the rack flicked on by itself, followed by the sound of something shifting across the tiles, exactly where he had pointed. After that moment, they learned to stop doubting him so quickly, which is why this latest incident is starting to bother them more than they expected. Casey says that the very next day after this clip was recorded, both of their dogs started barking ferociously at the same corner of the house, right at the end of the hallway where her son kept staring. Whatever her son saw, the animals definitely sensed it too, but until Casey shares more updates, this case remains completely unsolved. Now, in this next clip, TJ has recently adopted a deep fascination for haunted dolls, and over the past year, she's slowly built an entire collection, each doll with its own energy, history, and personality. Every now and then, she documents her new life living with these dolls, and although many people follow her page out of curiosity, most didn't expect her newest update to be this unsettling. Watch.
What's going on down there?
This clip quickly caught the attention of other collectors who started asking, how long did it take for her dolls to get comfortable enough to do this? They explained that many of their dolls stay completely silent for months, sometimes years, and that the quiet ones often make them the most nervous, because spirits that stay still for too long usually do so while observing the environment, adjusting, and waiting. To answer everyone's question, TJ gave a detailed response. Honestly, over a year. I had to really build a close relationship with them to get the activity I'm getting now. It was definitely not always this high. Things only started picking up when they felt like they knew me well. Her comment opened up another wave of debates. For now though, TJ insists she's comfortable with her dolls and isn't afraid, but viewers can't help but wonder if that's because she truly feels safe, or because whatever's attached to those dolls has already settled in more deeply than she realizes. In the following video, we have a man who claims he lives in a haunted house. And after months of documenting the activity, viewers finally trace the cause back to an African mask hanging in his home. But like most people who have already grown attached to something they own, he's been in complete denial. Friends have told him to get rid of it, viewers have begged him, but he always brushed it off, until things escalated way beyond the point of coincidence. Watch. First, it was a single loud bang. Then the wind chime swayed, and seconds later, the cupboard door slammed shut on its own. Everything seemed connected, almost as if something was moving through the house in a straight line, starting with the bang, triggering the chime, and ending with the kitchen cupboard. But what really convinced viewers that this has nothing to do with the house and everything to do with the mask was what happened next. Because the activity didn't stop at harmless noise, it grew aggressive. Watch this. The knife flew off and almost landed directly on his leg. And that wasn't the only incident. He's been waking up at 2 or 3 a.m. to scratching sounds on the walls, footsteps pacing around his bed, and sudden drops in temperature that make the room feel freezing cold. People in the comments use this as the final push to warn him again. It's the mask, take it down, remove it from your home before something even more dangerous happens. And after everything he's experienced, especially now that he's getting hurt, hopefully this time he finally believes them. Now, in this next clip, we're looking at one of the most unsettling situations a young family has ever had to deal with. For weeks, they've been reporting strange disturbances happening only at night. Small things at first, toys turning themselves on, footsteps in the hallway when everyone was asleep, and the baby monitor picking up faint whispers that definitely weren't coming from the parents. But recently, something changed, and whatever's happening now seems to be focused on their daughter. Every night, right after they put her to bed, she does the strangest thing. Watch this. You can hear the little girl, who is supposed to be fast asleep by this time, suddenly laughing in this almost diabolical, unsettling tone. And the way she stares, her eyes reflecting the infrared light like she's locked onto something none of us can see. That alone had viewers saying this doesn't look like normal sleep behavior at all. Some parents in the comments said this reminded them of episodes their kids had during extreme night terrors, but others are convinced this goes way beyond that. Now the parents are completely torn. They're not sure if they should call a priest, bring in a paranormal team, or just pack up and leave the house entirely. But with how quickly these episodes are escalating, doing nothing doesn't seem like an option anymore. What do you think they should do? Because whatever this is, it definitely isn't normal. Now, in this next clip, a man falls asleep with his bedroom light completely turned off, only to open his eyes around 1 a.m. and see that it's suddenly on. Watch.
Es la 1 de la mañana, acaban de prender la luz de la sala. Desde que compré ese espejo están pasando todas las cosas raras. A la madre. ¿Qué fue eso? Eso se está saliendo de control ya.
According to him, ever since he brought this toy home, this exact one right here, things inside his apartment have not been the same. At first, it was small things, a faint tapping in the hallway, soft creaks from the living room floorboards even though no one was out there. But with every passing night, the activity grew darker. He says he now wakes up almost every night to strange noises that seem to move from one room to another, like footsteps pacing in slow circles. And twice, something tried to forcefully twist his doorknob while he was sleeping. Not gently, not like a draft, but with the kind of pressure you'd expect from someone trying to get in. Even his cat, usually calm and curious, refuses to go near the toy. Instead, it'll sit in the doorway with its ears pinned back, staring into the darkness as if watching something move that he cannot see. And on the nights when the activity is strongest, the cat becomes restless, pacing from wall to wall, growling low under its breath. People in the comments were quick to say the same thing. Be careful what you bring into your home. Sometimes it's not the object itself, but whatever might already be attached to it. And in his case, it's starting to look like he didn't bring home a toy at all. He brought home something that doesn't want to leave. In the following video, a student from the Philippines found herself trapped inside a classroom in the university's ophthalmology building, one of the oldest sections of the entire school and a place many students already claim has a strange atmosphere. According to her, she had stayed behind after hours to finish an assignment when she suddenly realized she couldn't get out. Watch.
Hindi ko alam kung magsisend to, pero kanina pa ako nandito. Walang pintong bumubukas at may topak ata tong phone ko. Pag tinatry ko siyang buksan, yung mga pinto, hindi naman siya nakalock, pero ayaw niyang bumukas. Eto, tignan niyo. Parang may humihila sa kabilang dulo. Please, kung makita niyo to, ako si Maxine Cayapado ng MMA 201. Nandito ako sa C401 at nasa tapat ako ng...
She explained that the doors were not locked. They simply wouldn't open, as if something on the other side was gripping the handle and refusing to let go. The more she pulled, the heavier it felt, almost like she was fighting with an invisible force. And right when she started recording a video to show exactly where she was, hoping someone would come help her, that's when the door suddenly swung open on its own. To this day, no one can say for sure what actually happened in that room, and this video remains a mystery. The following clip is about a family we've talked about on this channel before, and if you remember their story, then you already know things got pretty unsettling the first time around. Here's a quick rundown. It all began on random nights when their daughter would suddenly wake up crying, and while they were trying to calm her down, they'd hear someone knocking on their front door. It went on for several nights until the father finally decided to check. And the moment he opened that door, there was a figure standing right outside. After that encounter, the knocking stopped, but the house wasn't the same. Strange movements, electronics acting up, little things happening that didn't feel like coincidences. They prayed, they waited, and after a few months, the house finally settled. No knocking, no shadows, no disturbances. For a while, it seemed like whatever had shown up that night had moved on. But now, months later, the pattern seems to be starting all over again. Watch this.
Vente. Te están tocando.
Sí. La niña empezó a llorar.
Ya no haga mucho ruido para ver quién es. No prendas. ¿Cómo rápido? Está bien inquieta, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Ya son casi las 3 de la mañana. ¿Dónde están las llaves? Hoy. Ahí quédate, espérame. No hay nadie. No hay nadie. No, uy, otra vez. ¿Quién será? No es nadie, Ceci. Yo creo que ya nos subimos a dormir. Ya. Vámonos. Vámonos porque igual le voy a enseñar la hora. Siempre pasa lo mismo. Mira. Son casi las 3 de la mañana. 25. Siempre hace lo mismo, ¿verdad? Ya vamos a... Voy a cerrar otra vez.
This time, they knew better than to open the door. They didn't want to repeat the same mistake, but one night, while his wife was trying to put their baby girl to sleep, the house security camera picked up something they never expected to see. Watch this.
Sí, mira, quiero que observes bien este video y me digas qué te parece. Puede ser cualquier cosa, pudo ser una persona, pero realmente con seguridad no te sé qué decir. Observa los movimientos de mi hija de 4 meses, cómo ya está casi dormida y ahorita en un ratito como que se altera. El video no tiene audio, así que por eso se lo estoy relatando. Vean ahí cómo se alteró mi hija y ve directamente hacia el portón. Miren, ahí está observando, ahí se asomó algo. Vean eso. Vean lo extraño que el color de piel que tiene eso, vean. Y mi hija ahí está alterada y si se dan cuenta, no deja de mirar hacia el portón. Vean, mi hija está mirándolo. Ahí se volteó y eso se desvaneció. Bastante extraño.
If you take a good look at the footage, the little girl is completely calm at first, just resting, until something shifts. Out of nowhere, she gets upset and she starts crying, like she's reacting to something we can't see. And if you look at the door, a faint figure seems to be peeking inside. The father said he couldn't place the shape at all, and what made it worse is that he never saw anything walk away. 1 second the figure was there, and the next, it wasn't. No footsteps, no movement, no shadows trailing off. Just there, then gone. And with everything they've experienced before, people began to wonder if this was the same presence that stood outside their door months ago, or if something completely new had entered the picture. Then, around 2 a.m., their daughter started crying again. But this time, it wasn't the knocking, it was something far worse. Proof that whatever they'd been dealing with wasn't outside anymore. It was inside the house. Have a look.
No digas mamadas. No. ¿Qué dijo? ¿Eh? ¿Qué dijo? No mames, güey. Se me va a apagar. Está hablando. No, güey. No, la verga. No mames, no chingues. Se puso feo. Raza. Se puso feo, les dije. No mames, güey.
It didn't take long before the knocking returned too, and when it came back, it wasn't random or occasional anymore. It happened every single night, like something determined, something trying to wear them down. Imagine living with that, knowing it's coming, knowing you can't stop it, and counting down the seconds until it starts again. Eventually, even though he knew exactly what happened the last time, he started opening doors, but only the doors inside. And what happened next felt like going from bad to something much worse, almost like stepping out of the frying pan and straight into the fire. Watch.
No sé si se escuche. Oigan, como si estuvieran en la parte de enfrente. No mames. Son las 2 de la mañana. Uy, cabrón. Voy a buscar las llaves. No mames, está acá enfrente, ¿eh? Uy. ¿Cómo? No mames. Ah, cabrón. No mames, cabrón.
The activities in the house escalated after that night, but this time the knocking didn't stop. And you know what they say. When the knocking refuses to end, it usually means whatever is outside isn't trying to leave, it's trying to come in. And in situations like this, people believe persistent knocking is a sign that the presence has grown stronger, more intentional, almost desperate for access. It got so bad that it began waking the entire family every single night. At this point, they started to believe that not opening the main door wasn't protecting them from anything, because strange things were still happening inside the house even on nights they kept the door shut. But at least if they open it, the knocking would stop for a few hours, just enough peace to reach the morning. So reluctantly, they fell into a routine. Every time the knocking returned, the father would open the door just to make it stop, until one night he walked toward the entrance expecting the same pattern, but instead saw something deeply unsettling. Watch this.
Johnny, están tocando.
¿Ah?
Están tocando.
¿Quién es?
Nadie,
¿Están tocando?
Sí.
Ah, sí, no manches.
Escucha.
Otra vez, güey, a ver, aguanta. Espérame aquí, aguántame.
Sí.
Otra vez. Son las 3 de la mañana, gente. Son casi las 3 de la mañana. ¿Qué quieres? ¿Qué es lo que quieres? Deja de molestar. Quiero que te largues. ¿Qué es eso? Oh, no manches. Oh, no manches. Ceci.
This wasn't a neighbor, this wasn't a prank. What he saw looked dark and full of intent, the kind of thing that doesn't accidentally show up at your door. And when you connect this moment to everything else, the figure peeking inside the house, the child crying at unseen things, the sudden electronic malfunctions, the rocking chair moving on its own, the doll moving, it all begins to feel like one presence that finally revealed its true form. Now the family is actively seeking help from anyone who can make sense of all this. But while they search for answers, the knocking hasn't stopped. They still open the door sometimes, but now with extreme caution, because they never know what might be standing there.
Mira. Y el chiquito no.
Mira, no mames.
¡Vámonos de esta casa!
Ya, yo voy grabando.
Tranquila. ¿Quién anda ahí?
To make matters worse, the electricity in the house hasn't been the same since the night they saw that strange figure. Lights flicker, appliances glitch, and even their older kid is getting tired of living in a place that feels more haunted with every passing night. In the next clip they posted, things took a turn none of them were prepared for. What used to happen strictly at night, the knocking, the footsteps, the strange movements, suddenly began happening in broad daylight. Objects would shift from one spot to another, heavy thudding footsteps, as if someone unseen was walking up the stairs, and random items in the house kept going missing only to reappear in odd places. Then one afternoon, the father captured something on camera that left both viewers and investigators genuinely alarmed. Watch this.
¿Estás escuchando?
Sí.
Vente. Son las 2 de la tarde, se está manifestando algo. Tengo que decir que no hay nadie. Estoy completamente solo. No manches. Se acaba de abrir la puerta del cuarto. Este cuarto, pues nadie lo habita. Estoy solamente con mi hijo de 8 años. Vente, Neto, no te quedes. Se vio claramente cómo se abrió la puerta sola y no hay ni viento. De hecho, está cerrada la ventana, todo está cerrado. No, vámonos.
Even with every window shut and all doors locked, one door slowly opened on its own, like someone on the inside had gently pushed it. Many believe this was a sign the presence inside the home has grown comfortable, too comfortable, almost as if it no longer cares to hide its movements. Others think letting it in that very first night might have given it access it never should have had, and now it's roaming the entire house freely, crossing boundaries it once respected. And things have only gotten worse night after night. The family is so desperate that viewers have sent their clips to paranormal experts, hoping someone can offer answers or at least a solution to stop the constant fear they're living in. But while they wait for help, every day and every night brings a new disturbance. One night, it sounded like someone was in the kitchen, loud enough that the husband thought an intruder might have broken in. But when he went to check, this is what he found.
Oye, voy a ir a bajar,
Sí, a ver, ve a checar qué es.
Voy a ver, ahí quédate con la niña.
Sí.
Hasta se despertó, ¿va?
Sí.
No hay nadie. Por lo regular siempre se escucha como si hubiera alguien ahí en la cocina. Se escuchaba que estaban jugando con los trastes, como si estuvieran botando cosas, así bastante fuerte. Lo primero que pensé es que se habían metido a la casa. Mierda. ¿Qué hacen esos sartenes botados? Mira. Empieza a sentir un escalofrío en esta parte bastante fuerte. Voy a levantar esto. Miren cómo estaba colgado esto. Ay. ¿Qué es lo que quieres? Lárgate de aquí. ¿Por qué nos molestas? Oh, madre de Dios. ¿Qué es eso que se escucha? Lárgate de aquí. No mames, güey. Hey, la sangre de Cristo tiene poder. Sea lo que seas, no perteneces aquí. Lárgate. Necesitamos ayuda, por favor. Esto se está saliendo de control, amigos. ¿Qué es eso?
Pans scattered all across the floor, and before he could even finish placing them back, something else happened. Sudden, sharp, and terrifying. Almost like the presence wanted to make sure he knew he wasn't alone in that kitchen. At this point, whatever is haunting this home is no longer subtle, no longer shy, no longer hiding in the shadows. It's active, bold, and possibly growing stronger. And before this turns into something violent, the family is pleading for help, hoping someone can intervene before things get even worse. Now, in this next clip, the popular ghost hunter Ian went deep into the Minnesota woods, and on this particular night, he was making his way toward an isolated cemetery rumored to be one of the most haunted places in the entire region. He was completely alone out there, and even he admitted that he was starting to freak out.
Okay. I'm coming towards you, whoever you are. I hear somebody walking up and down this trail. Could you walk towards me? Oh my God! Holy shit! Oh my God! I'm sorry. You almost gave me a heart attack. I know I asked you to do that, but damn! Holy moly, I didn't think you were gonna actually do it.
Vicksburg Cemetery sat hidden in the wilderness, untouched, overgrown, and swallowed by trees. Local legend claimed that one gravestone in particular would glow at night, and that every spring it sprouted fresh flowers that dripped what looked like blood. It was the kind of place that felt unsettling even in daylight. And yet, because it was Ian, he chose to spend the entire night there anyway. The place had the kind of heavy stillness you'd expect from a cemetery buried deep in the woods, but as he walked around with his flashlight sweeping through the darkness, he saw something that stopped him. One entire grave had been left in total shambles. Stone cracked apart, soil disturbed, like something had forced its way out or clawed its way in. And in typical Ian fashion, instead of backing away, he tried communicating with whatever spirit might still be lingering there.
Gosh. This whole grave is in shambles. I'm sorry that your tombstone has been destroyed. What happened? Is it vandalized? Whoa. Okay, I just heard you. At this moment, a woman's whisper intelligently responds to my question. In my left hand, I have a green light. It won't harm you in any way. All it will simply do is detect your presence. If you're still here, could you tell me your name? Because unfortunately, there's really no way for me to tell. I really don't want to dig around your grave shambles, because I don't want to damage it any further. You don't have to be shy, ma'am. As I said, I'm just here to visit. I'm here with nothing but respect. I'm getting eaten up by mosquitoes right now, but that's okay. It's worth it. If I could just hear your voice one more time. Whoa. Thank you. Oh my gosh. I heard that. I heard you once again. Whoa, you just drained my battery too. Dang, dude. All right. I'm gonna review this when I get home, and I'll know your message.
Later, after reviewing his footage, he realized that the voice captured on camera sounded like it was saying the word foreign. That one detail bothered him enough to dig deeper, and when he researched the grave, he found out it belonged to a woman named Vesta Black Davis. buried alone with no family members anywhere near her. A sad and lonely revelation, but it raised an even darker question. If no one visited her and no one cared for the site, then why was her grave the only one shattered? For more haunting videos including Ian, subscribe to the channel now.